You know, Hawaiians believe, of course, that everything's alive, and including the rocks and the trees and just, you know, the ocean itself, and the gods are represented within certain plants. Like, for example, the goddess of hula, Laka, can sometimes be within the fern, you know, and so you want to ask permission. You are going into a different dimension. You're going into the plant kingdom dimension to make sure, you know, because maybe you can't right then pick from that, you know, for some whatever reason. If, you know, if it starts to rain all of a sudden, or, you know, torrential rain, or you can see the mist coming into Kokee and it's time to go, then maybe it's not a good time to pick, you know? Sometimes I go up to Kokee because people request lehua, ohia lehua. Sometimes you go up and it's just plentiful all over the place, easy to pick. And other times, only at the very tippy tops of the tree, and then I guess you can't, you know, it's not that good of a day for that, you know, you have to think of something else. We've talked about different kinds of lei. I've talked about a plumeria lei, which goes around your neck, a tea leaf lei, which is made only of tea leaf, prepared tea leaf. So there's that kind, and it's the kind you wear around your neck. Now what I have on, I'm wearing on my hat, and it can also be worn as a crown, around, you know, around your forehead, and that's called a lei po'o, which lei po'o means head. When people say, I want a haku, they're talking about a lei po'o, or maybe a hat lei. But there's a couple of different ways to create that. If you needed to explain it particularly to someone who is in the know, it's actually a vili style lei po'o, which means I'm wrapping flowers around a base. I use a coconut leaf. I was taught with coconut leaf and yarn. And so I wrap the flowers around the base. And so that's a vili style lei po'o or haku. It's a very special thing to receive a lei. I mean, it's not something that people give everyone all the time. First of all, realize that the person that's giving it to you loves you enough to take the time to get a lei or create a lei for you. And so you want to wear it proudly, and when people ask you about it, you know, they're going to ask you about it. You're going to stand out because you're going to have a lei on, and people are want to know why, and then you get to say, you know, that it's your birthday, or you just arrived, or, you know, or even that it's Aloha Friday and my friend who thinks I'm special decided to give me a lei, you know what I mean? So you get to talk about it, and that honors you even more, and then it shares the aloha out, really, you know. There are people who wear the lei and wear the lei and wear the lei and wear the lei until it falls apart, which I love that. You know, if I see people wearing a lei and it's kind of, you know, you can tell it's been a couple, 3 days, always I compliment them. And I say, oh, I love your lei. You're really enjoying it, you know, because it's beautiful. Whatever length of time has gone by, it's still beautiful. And because it's not just the flowers and what they look like, I mean, it's like the whole deep meaning of it. And then there's another thing that you can do, is you can regift it. And that is very special, because not only did you receive some, you know, an honoring from someone else, and there's already aloha in that. But then after you wear it and then you regift it to someone else, then you're passing the aloha along and adding to it with your own, your own spirit, your own, aloha to that person. And who knows, maybe that person will regift it even more. A lifetime of a lei and how that goes. Some people will keep them for as long as they possibly can in a display. Sometimes people will even make like a shadow box and put the lei in, especially like brides or people who think they may never come back to the islands and they want to take it back home with them, and that's their memory, their keepsake. Some people will bring them to their, people who live here will bring them to the gravesite to honor their grandparents or whoever is there at the gravesite, on their gravestone or something. Other people will hang them on a favorite tree. Like I have an avocado tree that has a whole bunch of haku on it. And then, but what's also nice is to bring it to the beach and leave it there. Or there's a custom where you can throw it into the ocean. And they say that if you throw a lei into the ocean and it comes back to the shore, it's like a promise that you may return to the islands once more. But there's a little bit of an aside to that I'd like to say, because we're so much more aware now of marine life and the dangers of having, a turtle get caught in a lei or something, which would be horrible. So you want to be sure that whatever the materials of the lei are, are not that will disintegrate and not cause, any kind of damage to the marine life. I get really excited when I get an order. Sometimes if I get flowers that I never get to use, like blue jade or something like kind of exotic that someone gave me to use or something, I almost I want to make the lei, but I almost want to just look at the things that I have for a while, and just anticipate making the lei. I don't know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's really fun.